My name is Kelly Kane, and I'm the Marketing Manager for Wonderware NorCal. Thank you for attending our Wonderware Mobile SCADA webinar today. The webinar, we will be doing a short Q&A. Please type any questions or comments into the Q&A box, the chat box, or email us at webinar@norcal.wonderware.com. Now I'd like to introduce your presenter for today's webinar, Mike Lapitan. Mike is an Asphalt Industry expert and has been a Wonderware NorCal product specialist for the past 6 years. Good morning, Mike.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our Wonderware Mobile SCADA webinar. This is a fun webinar, and we also do a workshop on this event as well, and we'll talk a little bit more about that workshop we have coming up where you can get hands-on experience working with Wonderware Mobile Solutions. As I mentioned, I've been a product specialist here at Wonderware NorCal for about 6 years, and I get the benefit of visiting a lot of customers, and just about everybody has an interest or a need to access their plant information on the go wherever they may find themselves so that they can make sure that their plants are running efficiently and safely and reliably. Topic of today, how do we access our plant data on the go? And before we jump into that topic, I would like to just point you to our website where you can register for our Wonderware Mobile Workshop. If you come to our homepage, norcal.wonderware.com, you can come to our our workshop schedule, and you can see June 4th here, next month, we have a free hands-on workshop in San Francisco, and you can register for that right from our website. And then later in June, we have another reporting workshop as well. This is also, you can register for upcoming webinars as well as our training facility in San Francisco to get Wonderware training. And success stories and videos. We have links to more information about the Wonderware Historian as well as more information on SCADA and MES, and Buy Online section as well where you can check out parts prices for touch panels and Ethernet switches and ACP-enabled thin clients and monitors. The agenda for today's webinar is to look at mobile data. How do we access data on our phone from our plants? And we have an app called SmartGlance. It's available today on the App Store, a very popular mobile app for viewing plant data on your phone. We'll also look at how to access your full SCADA system on the go, on a tablet or on a phone, and accessing InTouch, the Wonderware HMI, using any device. We've got a couple of different options on how you can accomplish that. And finally, we'll just summarize. We also have a mobile alarming capability with Win911 for remote alarm notification. We'll doing a demo on SmartGlance and a demo on Mobile Touch. Background on Wonderware Today: 1/3 of the world's plants and facilities of 20 more people use Wonderware. That equates to over 140,000 locations worldwide. #1 HMI, human-machine interface software on the marketplace. We've been around since 1987 as the first Windows-based SCADA software. The lowest risk SCADA solution, meaning that if you put in Wonderware 20, 25 years ago, you could upgrade your application and have it running on Windows 8 today without having to rebuild that application. So seamless migration for 25 plus years, unique marketplace in that regard. We have a large system integrator channel, 3,500 system integrators worldwide that can help support you with on-site services if you need outside help building an application or making improvements. Wonderware is scalable, allowing you to start small with a minimal investment to prove the value and grow over time as your business needs require. It's extensible, so you can add functionality like reporting and access as needed as well. Wonderware has been the Wonderware distributor since 1992. We are an E&M company with 58 years in the automation industry, providing excellent customer service. We provide training in San Francisco. Also, Wonderware Corporate is located in Lake Forest, California. There's a full-time training facility there, and they are also offering now remote training, so you can take a training class from your own office, your own home. We offer free workshops out of our San Francisco office. Those are half-day events on getting started with different Wonderware solutions, such as Wonderware Mobile Solutions, and of course we have webinars. We have local technical support, system consulting and sales, and we have 70 system integrator partners here in Northern California to help support you as well. We get tons of great feedback in the field about our technical support. Our customers love Wonderware because it is the best supported product. So let's take a quick glance at technology megatrends here. This is information that came from Microsoft. I found that 91% of organizations spend money on mobile devices in 2012. 85 billion mobile apps were downloaded in 2012. And so mobility is just definitely taking over the marketplace in the form of how we interact with our data and our applications. And so in 2012, also mobile devices outpaced computers 2-to-1. So in all industries and all aspects of our culture and our lifestyle, we are more and more relying on mobile devices for our information to access, whether it's social or professional information that we need to access. What we have today is a mobile reporting powered by SmartGlance. This is an app that you can download today from the App Store for your Android, or your iPhone, or your Windows phone. We have legacy support for BlackBerries, although BlackBerries are going away. SmartGlance is a native smartphone app, so it works on your tablet and your phone. And allows you to push data from your SCADA system, from the Wonderware Historian, for example, to your phone, so you have the latest data at your fingertips anywhere, allowing you to make decisions, see how your plant's running, make sure you're running efficiently, making sure you're running with compliance wherever you are. You don't have to open that laptop and make sure it has power, and nobody's carrying their phones around. They're very handy. Having an app makes it very quick to now see your plant data. Cloud option with SmartGlance, meaning it requires even less IT time and less IT infrastructure to get SmartGlance up and running. If you have the Wonderware Historian in place already, you can have SmartGlance on you can have your data on your phone using SmartGlance in a couple of hours. And you download it today and try it for free. You can look at Explore sample reports just by going to the App Store or Google Play and download SmartGlance and Explore sample reports. So it does support all phones and tablets. Key benefits are to improve operational awareness on the go, improve decision making, accelerate troubleshooting. You can look at data in the form of tables as well as trends and charts. You can improve collaboration and lower costs if you want to use any device that you want. You don't have to now have a PC to access your data. You can have your critical key performance indicators and reports anywhere, anytime. You can share the emailing reports and graphs to your colleagues. This is the basic SmartGlance architecture here. You can see bottom left, we've got data sources include Wonderware InTouch, Microsoft Excel, any SQL Server database, as well as other data sources. And we can reporting connector, which provides the connectivity to these real-time data sources to the SmartGlance server in the cloud. So this is a secure cloud running in the Microsoft Azure cloud. And remember, this is just data. This isn't actually taking control of your plant. The data we're pushing to the cloud is read-only data. This is not the ability for anybody to control your plant, turn something on or off, or change that point. This is just viewing data. Once this data is now pushed to the SmartGlance server in the Microsoft cloud, you can now connect your phone and your tablet to the SmartGlance cloud, and you can view your data securely on your phone and your tablet. So the cloud version I mentioned, which is the easiest to set up, it's scalable, you can have as many users as you want, and it's secure. You have the on-premise version as well. So if you don't want to use the cloud, meaning pushing the data up to the Windows Azure cloud, you can have the SmartGlance server on-premise as well. So you have both options. Security is similar to online banks and HR payroll systems. So I know everybody has questions about the cloud. It's still relatively new, and we talk about sharing our manufacturing data with the cloud. But we don't necessarily hesitate to use online banking, and it does use the same level of security. And again, remember, if somebody gets access to this data, it's not like they're getting access to your bank account or they're getting access to your plant where they can take control. This is read-only data. The reports allow you to also drill down and take action. You can link phone numbers and email addresses to these reports so that you can make it very easy if somebody notices a problem, they need to get a hold of folks, that you can link your reports to contacts right inside of the app. An example of a smart app running on the left-hand side, and you notice the I button. If they notice that there's a certain area of the plant that they need to take some action on, you can click the I button or touch on the I button, and that will bring up the appropriate contact for that plant or that area. And you can even link to another maybe FTP site that might have a schematic or some type of troubleshooting guide. So you can provide links to not only contacts but other web pages that might have other documentation you might want to associate with your report. Data notifications called My Alerts. And My Alerts allow you to set thresholds on data that can give you a notification on your phone. And that in the form of an alert, like an alarm, that alerts you that, hey, we've passed a certain threshold. We've gone above or below or met a certain criteria. We want to get notified so that we can drill down into it and see if we need to take further action. So let's go ahead and take a quick demo of what SmartGlance looks like on a phone. So this is a quick video presentation. So we're going to open the SmartGlance app up on our iPhone in this case. We're going to open up a yearly water pumped report. We can see our monthly total water pumped by station. We've got multiple different pump stations or wells in this case. And in this case, we're looking at a month-by-month basis, but you could be looking at it on an hour-by-hour or 15-minute basis, for example. Let's go and open up a different report here. And we're going to click on a couple data points, and we're going to pull up trends. So we can see trends, we can see charts, we can pie charts. We save those and share them. We can email them to other people so they can get a snapshot. You can share that with other people. So if we use billboard devices, touchscreen devices, here we're looking at data every 10 minutes. I've got report information linked to that report as well. Go from a portrait to a landscape view. We can go full screen on our trend. If you touch on the trend, it'll actually show up a cursor as well, and it'll show the value at any point in time that you hover the cursor over. Going through the different formatted reports. Great. Again, if you want to download SmartGlance, you can see this running on your phone and share that with other people as well. Alerts allow you to easily set those thresholds. If a level or a temperature or an efficiency goes above or below a certain threshold, to go ahead and get an alert, a push notification on your phone. Quotation for SmartGlance, the cloud version is a subscription, so it's an annual renewal. And for 5 devices, it'd be $2,275 annually for 5 devices to access SmartGlance. And so that could be accessing the historian, that could be accessing a SQL Server database, Microsoft Excel, and there'd be 5 devices. So relatively reasonable to get started with SmartGlance, and again, it's something that you can implement it pretty quickly. We can help you with a trial implementation if you would like to try it out. Look at some SmartGlance success stories. There's an Asphalt Industry that produces hot mix, and the focus was to get real-time reporting for automated production, get quicker down the phone without waiting for reports. The editors were senior management for production reports and plant operators to monitor the mix temperature. So it was used for both operational quality reasons as well as for production efficiency reasons. Beverage industry, a couple examples here. A popular cold bottling company optimized energy usage and reduced cost. Again, there's a lot of industry trend towards making sure that we're energy efficiently, whether that's water. I know here in Northern California, we've got a big drought that we're currently in, and I've got a lot of customers that are very concerned about their water consumption. They have a cap on the amount of water they can use, so it's very important that water is used efficiently, goes into product and not wasted. And customers want to know, are we staying within our goals and our limits for energy, whether it's water or electrical or gas. So get that information right on your phone. Get notified in real time if you're starting to deviate beyond plan, beyond goal. We have a beer bottling company that wanted to know the packaging line, how efficiently they're running. They want to be able to check at all times their efficiency, so that if their overall efficiency is starting to go down and starting to slip, they can react in real time and not have to wait for that report at the end of the day or the following day to find out how efficiently they ran or didn't run. They can test it on the go wherever they are as they're moving around the plant. They don't have to be in front of their computer. They don't have to go find a touch panel somewhere. They can just simply open up their app on their phone to see how efficiently they're running, as well as get notifications if they're dropping below desired efficiencies. And wastewater is a natural fit for water and wastewater, being large mobile operations, as folks are having to go out in the field to remote pump stations and lift stations and wells and go from plant to plant. CH2M Hill, for example, they operate 200 water and wastewater plants in North America, so they want visibility and awareness, real-time operations outside of the plant, geographically dispersed infrastructure. You know, the solution criteria is that they need secure network infrastructure, they needed secure access to the data, they wanted minimal time managing a solution after setting it up, wanted something that would be scalable for both the historian to access via mobile devices and other devices. So here's an example of treatment facilities all across a district, water district, and then solution was to implement a hosted historian. Now have historian in the cloud as well, where you can push it to from a Tier 1 historian facility to a Tier 2 historian in the cloud. So that's very useful if, for example, you've got multiple plants and you want to centralize all of that data to a central historian and make it very easy for anybody to access that who has the rights and credentials to do that. You can push multiple plants, data's up to a Tier 2 historian in the cloud. That way you're no longer responsible for the server and the IT and the infrastructure and the costs associated with to back that data up and make it available and secure. Now that data is available securely in the Microsoft Azure cloud, and you can access it via SmartGlance. CH2M Hill, they've got currently 9 plants that they can monitor via SmartGlance, and they have over 200 facilities in North America, so you can see how this could scale for them. Okay, so we've talked about mobile data on your phone using SmartGlance. Remember, SmartGlance is read-only. What about if we want to access our full SCADA system in touch? We're in touch, the most popular HMI in the marketplace. If we want to actually do control, and we're operators, and we actually want to get operator screens. So this would be in touch on a mobile device. Right, touch on your phone, in touch on a tablet on the go, and with functionality. Options to do that. We have traditional remote desktop services, also known as terminal services, and they also now have web-based access to InTouch from a mobile device called InTouch Access Anywhere. So we'll do a review on remote desktop services and the benefits of that, and then we'll look at InTouch Access Anywhere and the differences and the benefits of that. An introduction to remote desktop services, also known as terminal services. You basically have a server, a Windows Server operating system that hosts your Wonderware, and then you can connect to the server doing remote desktop. And so traditionally, you could use your PC to do remote desktop. You know, for example, if I were to go to my remote desktop connection here, I could mode into computer. And now another computer here. Okay, and so I'm in a different computer now, other than my own. I could access Wonderware InTouch if I wanted to. And there's remote desktop apps for doing this on mobile phones and tablets. this allows you to do is have more concurrent people accessing a server and running InTouch in this case simultaneously. And they get independent sessions. Software and licensing is installed on the server. Users connect to the server and get an independent session, so there's no logging people off and fighting over mouse control. Our desktop server processes the inputs from the client and generates the results. And it works with any device, whether it be a Windows computer using a remote desktop connection, or a mobile device such as a tablet or a phone using an RD app, a remote desktop app. And Access Anywhere allows you to do the same thing but go to a web page to access the InTouch application instead of having a remote desktop app. Services is a mainframe environment for the Windows servers. On the server, the client just connects to the server. Side, you can do remote desktop or have a remote desktop app, and you access the server to access InTouch. Terminal server processes the commands and generates the graphics, and then sends that back to the client. And as the client receives and displays the graphics. So no Wonderware, no InTouch have to be installed on the client itself, whether that's a computer or a smartphone or a tablet. Okay, how this works with InTouch. Examples of third-party remote desktop apps on mobile devices would be ACP Thin Manager has an app called ITMC. If those of you who are familiar with ACP Thin Manager, that is the terminal services management software that adds more functionality to the Windows basic remote desktop functionality. And they have an app so that you can manage when this client connects, what application do they get? Do we want to lock them out of getting to server desktop? Can manage failover between two terminal servers. We can have them access whatever applications we want, not just Wonderware running on the server. Microsoft has a remote desktop client called RD Client. Examples of what we've seen customers use for third-party remote desktop apps are Jump and RealVC. And we also have the InTouch Access Anywhere option, which we'll talk about next. So accessing the server remote, if you're on a mobile device through Wi-Fi or a cellular network, your AT or Verizon cellular network, for example. And the security is managed through having a VPN or a virtual private network. So that is a hardware appliance that your IT department would help you set up on your server side. We actually have the IT resources here available at Wonderware NorCal to even procure those firewall devices, VPN devices, and set those up for you and ship them out to you. InTouch Access Anywhere also includes what's called the secure gateway, just another layer of security that is really nice for accessing your data system from the outside world. In Wonderware licensing, the desktop server requires the Windows operating system, as well as Microsoft RDS CALs. Those are Remote Desktop Services CALs, class licenses. So one's required for every client that connects. So you want to make sure to get the Microsoft Remote Desktop CAL. And then for every InTouch active session, an InTouch Runtime RDS license, Remote Desktop Services license. And going to use InTouch Access Anywhere, the web-based access, then you would need the concurrent version of an InTouch Remote Desktop Services license. And it does enforce the number of active sessions. So if you have 5 InTouch Remote Desktop Services licenses, 5 people can connect at a time. Once a 6th person tries to connect, they'll have to wait for somebody to log off. They won't get access. InTouch Access Anywhere, the difference between this and the traditional remote desktop apps is you don't need a remote desktop app. You just use your native browser. Whether you've got Safari on an iOS, or you've got Google Chrome on an Android OS, or you've got Internet Explorer on your desktop or Firefox on your desktop. All devices have browsers these days, and as long as it supports what's called HTML5, this is the current generation of how graphics are displayed inside of a browser, you can display your InTouch application inside of a browser. So what architecture kind of looks like is you've got an InTouch server, an InTouch Access Anywhere is installed, and you've got folks that are in the plant that are running off the terminal server from a computer, from a touch screen, for example. And then maybe you've got a casual user, a manager who needs to casually access InTouch to see what's going on in the plant, monitor that things are running efficiently in regulation, and they can go to a web page. They don't have to have anything installed. They just go to a web page and access Anywhere. And if you want to then do this remotely, mobile device or from a PC, you can also just go to a web page and access InTouch. So used for both in-plant for casual users as well as outside of the plant for remote access. So security, we've got multiple levels of security here. One, we use the Windows OS security, so the user has to provide their Windows OS username and password. If you're using Active Directory, they have to authenticate against your domain before they get access to the server. And then we also have an option, this is a basic diagram of a virtual private network, where if I'm out here I'm in the outside, just general World Web, I would have to connect to my VPN first before I get access to my SCADA network. This Firewall here is called a VPN, a virtual private network. So I'd have to enter my username and password for my VPN client. So this is VPN client's a piece of software, just again an option for security purposes that you would have to have on your tablet, your mobile device, your PC to authenticate against the firewall before you get access to the SCADA network and terminal server. Option is this secure gateway, which the secure gateway resides in a DMZ. So this gateway is not on your SCADA network. So people have to authenticate against the DMZ, and then once they authenticate against the DMZ, then they get access to the SCADA network. Okay. So obviously security is a big concern when we talk about providing access to your plant outside of that local network. If you want to give people access to it, which there is a lot of good reasons for efficiency and for reliability reasons that you want people to be able to access the plant phone. They get an alarm, for example, they get a phone call, they need to log in, they need to see what's going on, they need help with troubleshooting. The value and be able to access your plant remotely. So the security concerns are absolutely valid and should be discussed and thought out and well planned, and we help you plan that out based on your IT resources and how we can help implement those if you don't have them. This is just a secure gateway architecture example. Again, this isn't meant to make anybody a networking expert, but just to show you that we've got really good documentation and help you plan these things out, where people have to go through a secure gateway on the DMZ before they get access to the SCADA network. Okay. Just IT best practices. This is nothing specific to SCADA, nothing specific to Wonderware. These are just IT best practices. The InTouch Access Anywhere is you can access InTouch from any device, whether it be a Windows device, an Apple device, an Android, a PC, or a smartphone tablet. All you have to do is go to a browser to access InTouch. It will display InTouch in a web browser in HTML5. And we've got great security textures around this as well. If people want to get alarms, they want to get a phone call when they have an alarm, they want to get an email or a text message, we have Win911. This is our replacement for SCADA Alarm for those folks that have used SCADA Alarm in the past. That is an end-of-life product that will not be supported on Windows 7. We do currently offer a trade-in credit for SCADA Alarm towards Win911. Win911 basically has the same capabilities as SCADA Alarm in that it can natively import your InTouch tags and InTouch alarms, and it can monitor those, and once those tags go into alarm, it can send an email, it can send a text, it can somebody's phone, and it's bidirectional. Once they get that alarm on their phone, they can acknowledge the alarm, and it acknowledges back to the system as well. In summary, for our presentation today for Wonderware Mobile SCADA, we have SmartGlance, which is a smartphone and tablet app for data, reports, charts, and alerts. Very to set up. very reasonably priced. And then we have InTouch Remote Desktop Services and InTouch Access Anywhere for remotely accessing InTouch, the full SCADA experience. And that also supports any device with Access Anywhere using a web browser, with Access Anywhere with just using Remote Desktop Services. You can use RDP app, ACP's ITMC, or Microsoft's RD client. You use a VPN for security and or the Access Anywhere secure gateway. And 911 for remote alarm notification. So register for our upcoming Wonderware Mobile Hands-On workshop on June 4th. We do have a few seats available still. And then, of course, we have our popular plant reporting work on June 25th. Both of these are hands-on so that you can get a hands-on experience of what it means to actually use these tools, and so you can apply those back at your workplace. You can register for those at norcal.wonderware.com. And we'll take questions now if you want to type questions into the chat panel. Kelly, do we have any questions so far?
A few have come up. One, I know you went over the licensing, but can you go over the licensing one more time, how it works for each of the products?
Yeah, so SmartGlance is licensed per device. So that's if I've got 5 different phones that I want to access SmartGlance with, then I can get a 5-device license, and 5-device license. There's our number in the face. It's $23.22.75, and that's annual subscriptions. That would be using the cloud service, where you're pushing data from Wonderware to the cloud, and then your phone can access the cloud, can access that data. So that's $22.75 for 5 devices annually. InTouch Remote Desktop Services is the same price as standard InTouch licensing. InTouch Access Anywhere adds about 20% to the standard InTouch licensing.
Is the Access Anywhere app available for trial? Not seeing it in the App Store.
So InTouch Access Anywhere is not an app. So again, it's not going to be in the App Store. Remember, you're just going to a web page to access your SCADA system. And we can absolutely help you set that up for trial. So you just presumably we have your contact information if you're on the webinar, so we can contact you, or you can make a specific request to webinar@norcal.wonderware.com for a trial on InTouch Access Anywhere, and we can help you with that.
Okay, and that's all the questions that have come in.
Okay.
So thank you, Mike.
Great, everybody.
Sure. And if anyone would like to review any portion of this webinar, a recording will be available on our website later this afternoon, our website, norcal.wonderware.com. And if you think of any questions after this webinar, feel free to send us an email at webinar@norcal.wonderware.com. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and have a great weekend.